Hi everyone, Terry Kahuma here. In this edition of Legal News Daily, I'm going to discuss everything concerning why the Somali government has actually had its accounts frozen in Kenya. So basically, this is a High Court decision in Kenya, and I'm going to discuss everything concerning this on Legal News Daily. So let's go. Hi everyone, Terry Kahuma here. Like I said, a decision has come up in the High Court of Kenya, which has basically said that they have declined the application made by the Somali government to unfreeze the accounts. Now, brief story short, back in 2016, there was a company called Kingsley Construction Company in Kenya, which was basically doing the refurbishing and renovation of the Somali Embassy in Kenya. However, when it came to time for payment, the Somali Embassy only paid about half of it, and then it was left with about a huge amount of about $189,000 to be able to pay Kingsley Construction for the refurbishing of the Somali Embassy in Kenya. However, the Somali Embassy did not complete the payment, and then this actually led to a lawsuit that was done, meaning that Kingsley Construction Company ended up suing the Somali Embassy and government in the courts of law. Now, when this happened, the biggest defense that the Somali Embassy and government had through its Attorney General said that basically the embassy is under diplomatic immunity, and therefore Kingsley Construction Company cannot sue it in the High Court of Kenya. So basically, every embassy or every representative of every government holds or enjoys what is called diplomatic status. Now, diplomatic status is basically a situation where the fact that an embassy is a representative of any government, then that means that they are a diplomat of that country. So basically, what diplomatic status is that they enjoy a lot of privileges and rights, meaning that they cannot be sued, they cannot be taken to court, you cannot bomb an embassy, you cannot do anything but to an embassy, because like I've discussed on Simply Legal so many times, we have international treaties. So you can have a treaty between Kenya and Somalia. So if the Somali government wanting relations with the Kenyan government, it will then send its emissaries, meaning its diplomats, meaning its ambassadors, and then they will establish an embassy in Kenya. So meaning the Somali embassy in Kenya or in Uganda or in South Africa is basically seen as Somalia in Kenya. So basically, diplomatic status means that anyone, the embassy, the ambassador, anyone who operates in the embassy of a particular country enjoys diplomacy. They enjoy some sort of immunity or protection. I think that's what I'm trying to mean. So diplomatic immunity means you're basically enjoying international protection from being sued, from being bombed, from anything bad happening to that particular embassy. So that is the biggest defense that the Attorney General is having. So meaning that they also filed an application in the Kenyan High Court. So an application, I've discussed an application so many times with Simply Legal, and I don't think I need to repeat it. An application is basically a trial within a trial. If Kingsley Construction Company is suing the Somali embassy, then even within that dispute, then they're also going to have what is called an application. So still the lawyers of the Somali embassy are going to make a smaller kind of case, which is an application asking for the unfreezing of the accounts. Eventually, things are going to turn around, because the Somali embassy applied to the Kenyan High Court saying that, you know what, much as we know that we have to pay Kingsley Construction Company in Kenya, we are filing an application in court asking court to grant that the accounts of the Somali embassy are unfrozen. So basically, when they're asking for the unfreezing, they're basically saying that please allow us to operate while we see how to pay Kingsley Construction Company. But the Kenyan High Court under Justice Mabey has basically said that no, we are dropping that, because the accounts and the embassy in general, yes, it enjoys diplomatic immunity, but it does not stop it from being sued under commercial transactions, because they had a contract between Kingsley Construction Company and the Somali embassy. So basically, much as diplomatic immunity may apply to them in other aspects, you entered into a contract. So basically, that means that they can sue you under the Commercial Court of Kenya. So I want us to look at the elements of what a contract is. Basically, in a contract, under the Contracts Act of Uganda 2010, or contracts in general, we have what are called implied terms and express terms. Now, it was expressly stated that Kingsley Construction Company was supposed to be paid $189,000 after they have refurbished the Somali embassy in Kenya. However, the Somali embassy in Kenya breached that contract, and therefore we find that that is why Kingsley Construction Company sued them in 2019, because they breached the contract in 2016. I just want to reiterate to you that one of the biggest remedies for breach of contract is restitution of the contract, meaning you're going to have to pay back that person for what they have done. Also, we have restoration, and most importantly, we also have suing that person in court, because you're seeking a legal remedy for what this person has done. So much as diplomatic immunity applies under Article 31 of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Immunity and Relations, the Somali embassy, yes, enjoys their diplomatic status under Article 31 of the Vienna Conventions on diplomatic status and human relations. However, that does not exempt them from being sued in the Commercial Court of Kenya. So please know that you cannot sue an embassy for normal issues, meaning you cannot sue them for, like, let's say maybe acting in defense, or you cannot sue them for most offenses. But however, if they enter into a contract with you, let's say any embassy, it can be embassy of Austria, Germany, enter into a contract with you and is supposed to, let's say, like refurbish just like Kingsley did, or do any other kind of contract for them, then you can sue them in the commercial court. So meaning that you can sue them on a basis that you have, either it's a contract or it was an agreement that you had with a particular kind of company. However, diplomatic status and immunity means that you cannot sue them for most of the things. There are other legal remedies such as administrative review, where you can actually take on and engage an embassy in case of anything. Maybe they have knocked you or spoiled your car, then the embassy can say they can restitute you or compensate you. So thank you everyone for listening to Legal News Daily. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye bye.